Guess we haven't yet.
That's something. Check this out. DraconicDon and ShoeHorse's display pictures immediately just... Both similar energy from both display pictures, honestly. Oh boy. This is...
I'm dying.
This is hard to deal with. Alright. We got a really high win rate, actually, from DraconicDon. I had them pegged as like a better than average player, but that's a little more than better than average, even. Is competing in their 4th mystery tournament, but has already placed as high as 10th. So is a very strong racer for ShoeHorse to run into in their first match. ShoeHorse did pick up a win in their first mystery tournament just last time, coming back for their second time. So most people go 0-2 their first time. So it's a mark of something, I think, if you're able to pick up a win.
Yeah, another fun fact, DraconicDon and I made a puzzle script game for the Mystery Funhouse Game Jam that we had. Shoot, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Was that this year even?
It may have actually been about a year ago.
Yeah, I seem to remember it being... Maybe it was January.
Yeah, it might have been.
That's
it was either
cool.
early this year or last year, like late last year.
What kind of game did you make?
It was a puzzle script game, so Sokoban. Just a Sokoban game. And everybody hated us. So. Oh, man. And I'm just looking at ShoeHorse's avatar here, and I recently learned, apparently, I have not verified this, but canonically, apparently, Kirby is 8 inches tall. So I'm just imagining that, just like sitting on my desk. Like this tiny little round.
8 inches is like more than I don't know. I guess I don't know, but like, that's not like a... I'm saying if it were alive, it's big enough that I become scared.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Kirby's the most powerful video game character of all time, and you cannot change my mind on that.
He's kind of unstoppable.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like you could hold up the next most powerful character of all time, and then Kirby would just eat him, right? Like,
and absorb their power.
Yeah, by de facto, he just kind of is. He is the strongest. His power is that he will eat the strongest to become stronger. Stay tuned to the Kirby Shonen anime coming this season.
Yeah, relatively new racer against DraconicDon, who's been here for a little while. I believe it's their fourth year in here.
Virtual Boy game. I think I only know 2 Virtual Boy games.
I think I know the 3D Tetris was a thing, right?
Maybe.
I think that was a thing on Virtual Boy. I could be very, very wrong, as I have been many times already.
That's what the chat is for.
Somebody will say yes, and then somebody will immediately say no right after.
And then we all just shrug.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so few games on the Virtual Boy that I feel like we might give away what the game is, but I think we're almost ready to go anyway, so I don't really care. Jack Bros is the 2 Jack Frost and Pyro Jack and like some weird other Jack from the Atlas games, like the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, and they have a game where it's like a top-down shooter thing. And
that's interesting. I didn't know that, actually.
You like walk around and drop down levels and go up levels. And that's pretty all right. We've had that mystery tournament before. And then I think there's a WarioWare game. Not WarioWare, Wario Land.
Okay. A Wario Land on Virtual
That's all
Boy.
I know.
And you're leagues ahead of me, so
I only really know the one game. I just think I think there is a Wario Land. That's my second game. That's the best I got. Jack the Ripper. That's the third one, maybe.
Is that in a? My experience with Atlas games is largely through Persona. I played
Same.
Persona 5. I loved it, and then I went back and played Persona 3 and 4, which both of those games were a lot more grindy, I thought, than Persona 5, but still good games in their own right. But I don't remember. Maybe I do remember Jack the Ripper actually.
Yeah, I don't. Pretty sure Jack the Ripper's not in 3 or 4. Those are the two that I know. I know a Jack Frost, a Pyro Jack, a Black Frost, a King Frost.
King Frost. Yeah, I know King Frost. It looks like we're just waiting for roughly 3 people to ready up, maybe.
I've got one of the player streams open so I get to hear the music. This is... I'm looking at the gameplay now. And I don't think anyone's going to have any motion sickness issues. But I don't know, maybe.
Now I have to see what we're in for. Oh boy. This should be fun.
Lots of players readying up.
Yep, 2 remaining, and one of them, I believe, is FFAO, so that they can get the streams ready.
Oh, I haven't been reading the pacement. I pulled it up, and then this is pretty long.
I believe we can review the game now. The game is Bound High. Oh.
Bound High.
Bound High. With an exclamation point. Very important.
Very important.
Defeat the World 2 boss. Each world has 10 stages. Clear each stage by killing all enemies. Stage 6 is a plasma stage where you can get an extra life. I almost feel like
that means something.
I almost feel like it was supposed to be bonus stage, and it got translated to 3 other languages and then back to English and came out plasma. But plasma's correct because plasma and bonus stages can be ended quickly by falling off the stage. And then there's a boss at the end of each world. So you bounce up on him, I guess.
Yeah, that appears to be the goal. You just clear all the baddies on the screen by bouncing on them, and who knows what all this other stuff is.
Some of the ball blocks tend to kind of kick you out one way or another, and definitely hitting enemies tends to knock you away from them. You've got a decent amount of air control. Apparently only the D-pad is the controls, basically. You can pause and like skip cutscenes and whatever, but you're just moving the D-pad.
Well, it looks like ShoeHorse has a roughly 3-stage lead at this point right now.
Yeah, it did just fall off the course, but still a pretty decent lead. Especially so early on. We're 1 minute into the race. I suppose these levels are going to get harder.
I wonder if in later stages some of these blocks that they're bouncing off of are going to get destroyed. Similar to like, what is it? Is it Fall Guys? That hexagon thing in Fall Guys?
Yeah. I think it's just called Hexagon, but it's like Hexagon.
Oh, jeez. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Oh, these guys, they don't die, but you gotta like shuffle them off the edge.
Like
but
in like Link to the Past, the little beetles, you know,
yes.
in Link to the Past.
Totally.
Oh, there it
Maybe
is.
they
Yeah,
just
some of
take
the tiles are
multi-hits.
getting destroyed as well.
Oh, ShoeHorse is going to be able to get the clear. And so is Dawn. Sometimes they don't bounce as high. I'm trying to figure out why.
Mm-hmm. It looks like maybe the solid enemies, the ones that aren't transparent, maybe don't allow you to bounce as high. It's a little unclear though. But ShoeHorse is just gets it. Just rolling through this whole game right now.
I think we got a boss fight. The goal is to... Oh, it's beat World 3. Okay, sorry. I thought maybe the paceman has a typo in it. Yeah. Yeah, it does. So maybe the goal was extended and the paceman didn't get updated. So World 3.
This boss is just Moldera from Link to the Past again, isn't it?
Pretty
I guess
much.
you don't have to hit the tail.
Yeah, the tail was the weak point. Here, it's the one part you don't want to hit.
Interesting.
ShoeHorse is connected with the boss so many times that the playing field is mostly solid. I was having a lot of trouble finding this last hit, though.
It doesn't look easy, I'm not gonna lie.
It's so dodgy.
And the hitbox seems to be a little iffy as well. I've definitely seen him hit the head, or at least what I would call hitting the head a couple of times, and it didn't quite register properly.
It's it there. Yeah, it seemed like it would have hit the head, but it was also hitting the tail, and it was hitting the tail like more or as much. All right, so boss defeated for ShoeHorse. Boss started for DraconicDon.
Okay, so maybe it's not as big of a gap as I initially thought. Although the boss did take ShoeHorse a not insignificant amount of time.
Yeah, has moved on to World 2. We'll see what kind of mechanics are waiting. Oh, got knocked a fair ways away, killing that enemy, but finds the rest of them and cleans up pretty good. Boss for DraconicDon is pretty low, but it's the kind of thing that gets much harder the smaller the boss gets.
He did manage to get 2 of the segments in one hit, it looked like.
Ooh. I feel like the boss is moving faster than it was for ShoeHorse. Oh, wow.
He has to hit it more than once.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just misinterpreting what's happening on the screen.
It really looked like a clean hit to me. There it is. I think that boss fight was overall faster.
I think so. But ShoeHorse is still probably, on stage 3. So 3 stages ahead total.
Yeah.
And of course, speedrun strats, you gotta skip the bonus stages as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think I heard some bonus music playing on stage 6, and I don't know if I saw them jump off that stage on purpose. But that is definitely a thing you can do. Re-clear for ShoeHorse.
I think my first mystery race I got it was a reject tournament, so it was some weird 3D penguin game. And I just remember getting to the bonus stage and then not just jumping off immediately. And then just I lost. So it's like just such an obvious thing. But in the moment, I was just like, oh, cool. I get a bunch of hearts and stuff.
Yeah, that's just the classic, one of those things you pick up when you blind race enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, depending on what the life and continue situation is, there's lots of times where you want to intentionally die to game over right after a checkpoint. Stuff like that.
Yeah, you just have to be able to read the game. What's necessary, what's not. Is it going to be better to be safe or risky in the upcoming sections? Things like that. That was a humongous bounce on ShoeHorse's screen, and I'm not sure what happened. Maybe there's trampolines on those stages? Is that what those little
the middle blocks?
4 corner things? Yeah.
Got a TIE fighter. That's a bonus stage. ShoeHorse right out of there.
Easy. Clean strats. It looks like I'm looking at DraconicDon's screen, and it looks like there's wind on this stage. And I didn't see that on ShoeHorse's screen, but I think the audio cue was really helping me kind of parse what's happening.
Yeah, I think you're right. Gosh, it's tough. There's so little. I find myself often when I'm watching people being like, "Oh, I would do this," or "Oh, I wouldn't have done that." Like, well done, or all kinds of things. And this, I'm just like, yeah, you bounce on them. Yeah, you're bouncing all right. Like, you should make sure you land on them. It really is very straightforward. Oh, I see. ShoeHorse, rather than fighting the enemy, is trying to drop the level out from underneath them. Maybe that's even how you have to do it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. It looks like only certain blocks are breakable as well. These ones with the circles, maybe they take multiple hits to...
Oh, so this sort of star-shaped block, that's the thing that'll kick you way up.
Okay.
And it seems to be a consumable, basically. Whoa, DraconicDon triggers a mass destruction of the level on that block.
Interesting.
Here's the plasma stage. Goodbye.
Gone immediately. Love to see it.
So is this the boss of World 2 we're looking at for ShoeHorse?
It may be. It's definitely taking ShoeHorse a while to get through this, so I'm wondering if it is.
Oh, let me look up what is the continue situation.
Yeah, but to your previous point, it doesn't help to, when we're watching this, right, it's so easy to be like, oh, this is what I do, but it doesn't help that there's not a lot to visually parse in this game, too, given the Visual Boy's limitations in hardware. So it's pretty hard to kind of understand what interactions exist on the stages.
If you game over, you will start at either World 1, or Stage 1 of the world, or Stage 7, which I guess is after that plasma stage.
Okay, that makes sense, like a checkpoint, sure.
So
okay, Arrow Fodder is saying this is not the boss and just a very, very annoying enemy.
Dang.
So DraconicDon has a chance to actually catch up here, because ShoeHorse has been stuck on this for probably the last minute.
I think it's longer, honestly.
I think so.
It's pretty bad. I really feel like the plan that they want you to execute here is to drop the floor that it's on. Okay, there it is. It's gone. And Don's already got rid of it.
Oh, wow.
Just cleaning up the other enemies.
Yep. So it seems like, yeah, the enemies that aren't transparent, you have to knock off the course, is what I've gathered so far.
Yeah, I also did notice like there were a bunch of smaller enemies, so it makes me think that the big ones split up into the smaller ones. I wish I had seen it. And then that makes me think maybe you're supposed to, TKTZ in the chat it has the same idea as me, is that huge bounce up into the air, maybe you can come down for like more height and like slam and smash it.
Come on and slam. That was a Space Jam reference, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't think of a way to follow it up. I was like,
yeah,
called Bound High.
I was like, I did not make any. There's no follow-up here. Well, they are both on the same stage now, for sure. I think ShoeHorse still has a bit of a lead. I think this is the final enemy on the stage for them. And it looks like we have an introduction to a new block, too. They have arrows on them, which I can only assume means they knock you in the direction the arrow is facing.
They don't seem to be interacting with the enemies, so I think you're right. God, these little guys just don't go anywhere when you land on them.
They really don't.
ShoeHorse catches up once again to DraconicDon, moving on to the next level. Taking out these water spider-looking enemies. Thought I just saw an enemy spawn in, but I guess it wasn't required to be killed because that level is over. Boss stage.
Oh, same story, right? It's just break the segments, it looks like.
Yep, and then land the very annoying in between.
Oh, And those are single hit platforms lining the edges.
Oh god.
So this is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, the box, like the big chunks of level are being deleted every time you miss. Oh
Mhm.
no. This is tough.
I
And the
was
stage
just about.
stays deleted.
Oh no. I was about to say this looks easier than the first boss, and then I realized the trick.
I like staying close to the boss because the things rotating around the outside are going very quickly, but the things rotating next to the boss are moving actually pretty slowly. So if you're there, you only have to make a small adjustment to get wherever you need to go to make contact.
Hmm. Yeah, this
Oh,
is tricky. I think ShoeHorse has the right idea here. Bouncing in the middle, the guaranteed safe spot, waiting for your time to strike. But it's probably a lot trickier than it looks.
it looks pretty tricky. I don't know.
I, I still think it's trickier than it looks. It looks
Mm,
horrible. For some
I
reason
think
on Don's screen, it's not really moving yet, but
yeah. So when you hit the arms down to a certain length, I think is what it
oh,
triggers.
like if they're lopsided, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, or one of them gets like as short as possible, or down to one or something. I've seen ShoeHorse actually focus on one arm and get it all the way down, and have the other one be quite long, and then the boss
Hmm.
started to move with a big full arm. Okay,
ShoeHorse might actually clutch this out here.
hitting the
There
boss
it is.
directly with one life left gets the kill on the boss. Like we were talking about, I would start to think about the intentional game over at the start of
Hmm.
World 3.
Yeah. But it's pretty easy to get in your own head too, right? You don't know in these races where your opponent is. So it's pretty easy to kind of psych yourself out, I guess, and think, no, I gotta play a little riskier here, which it appears Shoehorn is doing.
Yeah, is either not thinking about the intentional game over or choosing not to. DraconicDon might see the unintentional game over, has one life left up there. I don't know if this is one of these games where you sort of have the zero.
Fair, yeah.
I think you want to make contact with the middle of the boss, is what I saw from ShoeHorse, but that's not immediately apparent. I don't really see a visual change or anything.
Hmm. Yeah, it looks like maybe that. I think those triangles indicate wind of some kind or another.
Whoa, DraconicDon over the abyss goes in for the final hit and gets it, so clutches it out. There are so many enemies on this stage,
There
and
really are.
I'm having trouble tracking them in the middle of the stage. Like there's just a lot of white and not a lot of black, and I
Yeah, it doesn't help that the enemies are the exact same color of the stage, which again is a Virtual Boy limitation more than anything else.
so we saw the intentional game over from DraconicDon, restarting World 3 with 5 lives now, whereas ShoeHorse is down to 2.
Okay. That
Whoa!
hopped on, yeah. Wow. Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh,
Down
that's
to
incredible.
1 now. Has not made it to level 7, so there is no checkpoint. ShoeHorse will go back to the first level.
Yeah, it is saying there was a 0th life. So this
Okay.
is one of those games that has a 0 for life. Or chat's wrong.
I trust Shambles.
Shrimbles is pretty reliable.
Well, one of the enemies was defeated, and this big guy in the middle just left. And then more guys showed up. Oh, I feel like I misread entirely what just happened, but whatever happened, happened.
It's pretty difficult to parse exactly what different enemy types do.
Yeah, these sort of jellyfish guys are tough to move around and need to be knocked off.
Mm-hmm. Some weird slot machine mechanic happening on ShoeHorse's screen.
Yeah, there's been a couple of these. I thought this was the plasma stage. but it's not. It'll say plasma stage when it's a plasma stage.
Hmm.
I guess forgive me for not knowing what the hell a plasma stage is.
Oh man.
A game where your lives go into negatives and you owe something.
That would be incredible.
And then the debt collector comes if you don't pay it off. There's a pinball table where you go into negative balls. Awesome.
It's incredible.
So DraconicDon down from 5 to 3 lives, whereas ShoeHorse has, I think, maybe even gained a life in the transition to World 3 through score or something. So still has 2, and still has a decent lead over DraconicDon in terms of level progression as well. Plasma stage. So I'm guessing that's always the 6th stage, and then the 7th is always a checkpoint. Yeah, so here we are at stage 7. This is a checkpoint for ShoeHorse.
Oh boy. Magic
What?
tile.
Are you going to place a tile when you land in the abyss? There it
That's
is.
actually kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, get stunned on the knock off the course and just had no way to correct. Oh, there's another one of these big enemies, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how ShoeHorse is supposed to take care of that. That looks like it's in a very annoying spot. It's directly in the middle of the stage, which is very inconvenient.
So you can make tiles. Do you want to connect up the middle area to some of these sort of corner areas? And then does that get this big guy to walk onto them and that lets you do something to him? Or here's the big bounce.
There it is.
Not aiming
Didn't
for the boss.
shoot
or
for the
whatever he
big
is.
guy.
The big guy.
The big guy. The big boy. Yeah, I'm curious about these magic tiles, because it seems like maybe they only exist because where ShoeHorse is right now, they were on like one tile squares. So maybe it's just like a safety mechanic. You can build your own bridge to get to them and make it a little safer to try and knock them off the course.
Final life now for ShoeHorse, but this really doesn't mean all that much here on level 7. In fact, it would be good, I think, if ShoeHorse were to die now. Just to get back to full lives while you are on stage 7. Stage 4 clear for DraconicDon is up to 3 lives now.
There's the game over by ShoeHorse. What? No, ShoeHorse apparently got a level at some point during that level and was just able to restart the level again.
Oh. Yeah, I missed how both players really dealt with
Maurice is done
this
already.
big stupid thing. Well, these players are almost done.
I mean, that's true.
3-7, 3-5 clear for DraconicDon, so not surprised to see the done from Maurice. ShoeHorse got another life.
Maybe.
And clears the stage, so game over sends you back to 7 at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, depending on how easy or hard the boss is, that could make or break this run for ShoeHorse. Because Don is now on the 7th level, sitting at, I mean, technically 4 lives, I guess, because it's 0 indexed, but...
Oh, the number block is lives. Okay, so there's the big bounce. DraconicDon aiming for the enemy. Bam! Splits him up into multiple
That
guys.
is the strat. Okay. Sarah in chat saying it might actually be easier to deal with the big one than all the little ones.
Yeah, maybe. Because they are still the guys you have to knock off, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I love the angry face as he charges up for the big slam. 0 lives left for ShoeHorse.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting for sure.
Gets shocked, able to recover.
You know, I've seen that Pac-Man looking character a couple of times, and I'm not sure what triggers it, but it looks very inconvenient to deal with.
Yeah. 3-9 now, I think, for ShoeHorse. Another one of these big guys.
Oh, but he
but
did
got
get
a
a
life
one-up
somewhere. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
At some point. I think if you combo these transparent boys together, you might be able to get a one-up in a similar fashion to like Mario when you jump on a turtle shell like 10 times or something, you get a one-up, right?
Those all turn to 500s. No extra life, though. So we've seen the big trampoline be able to smash these guys apart. I don't see any of those on this level.
Yeah, looks like you just kind of got to do it the hard way.
Lucky star?
Who knows what that means?
6, 5.
No, there's a countdown?
The star's running out.
Interesting. I wonder if that gave like some form of invulnerability against like debuffs, like stuns or something.
Uh-oh.
I didn't.
Uh-oh. Game over.
That's not great. So Don, in theory, will be in the lead now. Yes. By, I believe, a stage. I believe Don is on stage 8 right now.
This is 8, yeah. 8 clear, moving on to 9 with 4 lives, whereas ShoeHorse is back down to 7.
And ShoeHorse did struggle with this level a little bit. We'll see if the experience from past attempts helps out, but...
But these big guys, like if you just get them next to the edge and knock them off, same as the small guys, it's just way harder because they're bigger and they don't move as far?
Maybe. It's pretty unclear, honestly.
Oh, he almost walked off for DraconicDon. So chewing up most of the level seems like a good idea. Even though it's risky. Wants to... Oh, there it is! Yes.
Okay. One left for Don. And then we'll probably see what the boss is.
Marie's got a different power-up that made him able to better push these guys around. That's kind of troubling. Random power-ups. Nicely done from DraconicDon. Still has 5 lives on the final level here.
And unfortunately, ShoeHorse looks like they're still stuck on stage 7.
Yeah, well, DraconicDon figured out the big slam to smash up this guy in the middle.
Yeah, that might have helped quite a bit.
What is going on with this boss?
I don't know. It said another stage, and now it's inverted all the colors, and I'm confused.
You get a 1-up, so there shouldn't be any... Like, if you die, you just get the 1-up again, right? It's the classic get the 1-up shroom in Mario loop. There are
This
so
is a
few
tricky
blocks.
level, actually, because some of these enemies, right, they'll jut you out to the side, and there's very little room to maneuver here.
So far, the boosts from enemies have been favorable for Dawn, and I think that's been somewhat intentional. There it is!
Wow.
Oh, that was 9, sorry. Or is it 10 and then boss?
I guess it's 10 and then boss. Wow, this boss looks like a nightmare to deal with, too, honestly.
Oh, boy. It's kind of hard to tell whether they're foreground or background. Especially because the eyes of your character are spheres of about the same size as the boss.
Oh.
I think that was pretty good until the death. Oh, ShoeHorse bullying this thing. Gets knocked off, unfortunately. Wind in space. Yeah, the solar winds are back.
Oh, that's incredible.
Today's theme. For better or worse, DraconicDon has smashed up a big part of this level.
Got rid of one of the heads, I suppose. Okay, that's, I think, 2 heads down.
Oh, it's so fast now. Finds it. That's
There
it,
it
I
is.
think.
That's a clear.
The dot done, DraconicDon 2711. I gotta give a big amount of this race was decided by the intentional game over from DraconicDon.
Yeah, just
I don't
unfortunately
wanna...
for ShoeHorse, right? Just didn't
Yeah,
quite pan out. Tried to play a little risky, tried to get the fast clear, but didn't quite pan out.
yeah, I don't want to be too reductive and say the whole thing hinged on that, but it was definitely a big factor. There's other stuff too, like DraconicDon figured out the big slam on this big guy off the trampoline. That was
Mhm.
also very helpful.
Yeah, you can see ShoeHorse right now is struggling to get rid of that enemy as we speak.
Well, I think it was targeting like a power up that appeared or something. I don't know. Oh, is going to type GG or something, I think.
Yeah, it looks like they might. Well, they're still playing.
We're gonna get a look at World 4, I guess. DraconicDon gonna keep playing.
Maybe he just really enjoys the game. Nothing wrong with that.
There's the lucky star. I truly don't know what this does.
It does something. I can affirmatively say it does something.
It leaves a lasting impact on anime culture. There's an anime called Lucky Star. It was pretty popular.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not a huge anime person, to be honest. I like One Punch Man.
Sure. I think a one punch power up would be more helpful than a Lucky Star power up.
I think that's fair.
Maurice only knows Lucky Star. Yeah, so even if you don't know Lucky Star, you can follow Out of Touch Thursdays or something on Twitter, where every Thursday it will post a video of the Lucky Star girls dancing to, what is it, like a Hall & Oates song or something? I can't remember. I'm out of touch, you're out of time. That song. ShoeHorse finished 3-7 a long time ago, and then it's becoming clear that it was some amount of luck went into that first clear, because I just had so much trouble clearing it again.
It could just be ShoeHorse could just be playing full tilt right now too. That has certainly happened to me in a couple of my races where it's just a game over. I have to do a section over again, and I just can't nail it the second time because I know I'm probably coming from behind at that point.
I can see I looked in the waiting room to see if DraconicDon was there, and I see Rickrey is there. So from our previous race, I don't know. I'm hesitant to pull Rickrey in and talk about the previous race while this one is still technically going. But I don't think there's anything after this, so we could rewind and chat a little bit. In fact, checking the schedule, there's a match that wasn't scheduled on the hour. It was on the half hour. So now there's an awkward 48 minutes before it's scheduled to start.
Oof.
I don't have that many cookie recipes to give out.
I'm sure I could scratch something up, but I don't think people really want to hear that anymore. Oh, man.
One of these gigantic enemies that sends you flying at the start of whatever level this is for DraconicDon. This big guy just really doesn't go anywhere. I think if you hit him more on the edge, he will go further, and so do you.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, right?
But the collision is so violent, I can't even really get a good look at what's happening when ShoeHorse collides with it. It's going for the trampoline. Oh. Bam. Gotta get Maurice in here to do the Foley work on that one. So it finds out how that works, and then promptly goes off the edge. The solar winds coming in on this very sparse stage for DraconicDon.
Yeah, I can imagine the. I thought World 3 was already pretty bad. I can only imagine how much harder this game gets.
Oh, right. Yeah, we didn't really see the players get, aside from this big enemy on 3.7, and I guess some of the previous iterations, we didn't see anyone getting walled. And this is more of a walled because, like, I don't know what to do, less than a walled by difficulty, you know?
Mm-hmm.
$3-7 clear for ShoeHorse. 4
There it
lives
is.
in the bank this time.
A much better spot, for sure.
Oh, speaking of cookies, Residual Deviance in the chat has got the cookies. I was going to say in the oven, but I guess I don't know what stage of the process they're on. That's a game over for Dawn. I'm not sure where they were in World 4, but if they did not get to stage 7, that would be a full reset of progress.
Well, ShoeHorse did clear stage 8. Or, pardon, level, whatever, 3-8. Stage 8, 3-8? I don't know, whatever.
Now has 2 of these guys and has no super bouncy slam block.
Maybe a little easier because you can actually destroy some of the level. Not sure what just happened.
Another stage. What?
I
Has flipped into the Nega world? What is this game?
I don't understand, but it did happen to Dawn earlier, but I didn't see it happen because I think I was watching
Right.
ShoeHorse's screen. But
I just, yeah, it was like 310 or something, and I saw that the the colors had flipped, and I was like, I guess this stage is just like that. God, that's like the start of a creepypasta or something. You get some weird power up and you go to another stage.
you clip through you clip through the earth. You end up in the back rooms and you just see another stage in all caps.
Exactly. Oh, this thing, get it in there, get it in there, get it in there. Ah, that didn't do it. Sometimes I see it move a decent amount, and sometimes I feel like it doesn't move at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the collision mechanics of this enemy are confusing at best.
Yeah, and I do think your proximity, like if you hit it on the edge, you will knock it further, is happening here. But like, I still think I'm seeing variation in the knockback, even accounting for that. Oh, get out of here!
Almost. It just keeps walking back. You knock it a little, it walks back. Oh no!
3 lives left. Oh, the big guys will like knock each other around pretty significantly.
Well, there's Lucky Star again. And as we all know, that does thing.
Oh no, Marie's pointing out on the original Virtual Boy, another stage would not be white. It would all be bright red.
No, no. Oh, that's horrifying.
What? Oh, I think there was an enemy down there. and the big guy collided with the enemy and then rebounded
Mm,
further into the middle of the stage.
Jeez.
It did send that enemy flying though. I don't see it anymore. I landed in the middle of between them, which means the
Worked out.
knockback from both kind of canceled out, so it just went straight up. I liked it. You gotta focus on one though,
Hmm.
and that 2 tile gap there is not enough.
Definitely not. I think it's got to be 2x2.
At least. And even then, you probably got to be right bang in the middle.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like this. Just start chewing up the stage.
Yeah, that's smart by ShoeHorse here.
It's frustrating because, you're taking away those blocks down there, and these 2 guys are way up here, and they don't seem to want to move around too much at all. So they're probably going to stay up here. Whenever you get a chance to take out a square cleanly near the enemies, I think you take it. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ooh, that was close.
I heard him die.
Yep. One down. One remaining. Okay.
Oof.
Nasty bounce, but took it like a champ. There it
I
is.
think that's
Okay.
it. Okay.
All right, stage 10, which Don actually did on the first try, if memory serves, which was pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. Here come the wins.
That's rough.
Just got kicked out too far. You can see that the eyes kind of are closed when you make contact with an enemy, and I think that's when you don't have control anymore, and then they open, and that's when you can try
No,
to
that
fix
makes
whatever just
sense.
happened.
Mm.
Oh, the enemies just were converging in, and ShoeHorse went for the double, and then they just split apart at the
Oh,
right
no.
time.
Oh gosh, that's unfortunate.
This is
It's
the
a
last life.
power
What
up
is that
there.
power up? Super
Super.
Chalvo! Look at him.
He's so big.
Oh,
Oh,
he's crushing
Maurice, is
them.
this the power up you got?
I think it was. Lands on the Pac-Man chomp.
Okay. Taking it safe, but only 2 enemies left.
I think that's
There's
it.
the clear.
Okay,
All
on the
right.
boss, 0 lives still.
This is gonna be. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think there's a way for ShoeHorse to get lives on this stage, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought I remember seeing a life block for maybe it was 310.
Mm.
But you're right, I don't see it. Unless you have to uncover it or something, but I don't think that's been the case. Ooh. Went for like a double hit or something, but I don't think got any of them.
Ooh, that was close.
So the boss's movements coming to the foreground are at least synced with your own.
Yeah, that makes it a little easier, but it feels like you need some decent reaction time because it's not clear where exactly they're going to pop up. The depth perception isn't quite there.
Yeah. If they're far away, then they visually appear further away than the spot where they're going to pop up. But if they're right underneath you, then they're kind of just straight down, and so it'll be roughly where it looks like it is.
Oh, there's
Ooh.
the double. Ooh. Oh, there it is. That's a clear.
Wow, fantastic.
Fantastic job.
$41.15, $41.41, according to SRL, is the final time. Something happened to our timer, I guess.
All right. Well, great race by both participants. It was down to the wire, honestly, and unfortunately, ShoeHorse did take that game over. That reset them to 3-7.
Yeah, that was big. That was really big. I
And
think
then Don
maybe
just
that's
destroyed the latter half of World 3.
yeah. Like I want to say for the first like 3/4 of this race or something, it just seemed like in terms of moment to moment bouncing on guys gameplay, ShoeHorse was doing better than Draconic Dawn.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Said in the race chat, fun game, reading is hard. So I wonder if that was reading about the game over checkpoints or something
Well,
else. I don't know.
maybe.
Oh no, it's in here. It's just in here. See, I didn't read this either. I didn't get a chance. The pace bin's pretty big, and the race started before I had a chance to look at it. But super bounce, the white space with diagonal spikes. This will let you split big enemies. It's right in there.
Well, mystery tournament where sometimes the commentators don't even read the pace bin.
Most of the time, we don't. In some ways, it's more fun for us to play the game of what is happening. But I don't know. If it goes too far, then the chat who does know is yelling at the commentator, and that's not a good position to be in.
And there's always one, right? No matter what happens, no matter what game is played, somebody in chat has played the game.
Yeah, and no matter how hard I try to read the pace bin, I'm probably gonna miss something. So it's if I just don't read it at all, I can be like, well, I didn't read it. How am I to know? So ShoeHorse looks like they're just going to keep playing and having fun.
Yeah, good for them, you know? More power to them.
So it happened, over 41 minutes ago, but we did have Mundungu defeating Rikri in a match, and let me like ping Rikri or something. I don't want to just drag them in here all of a sudden. I don't know if they've been in there for a while.
Apparently, they've been in there for pretty much this entire race. If you look at the mystery tournament channel in the Discord.
Okay, let's go ahead. We've got Rikri here, not one of the two racers of this past game, but
So Econ just let me know that I can press the escape button during a level completion to skip it.
yeah, this was Mundungu was making full use of this,
And it's apparently why I lost. Okay, so many.
It was a very close race, and
yeah,
unfortunately, that was just some hidden glitch, I suppose. Speedrun tech, whatever you want to call it.
Yes. I don't know. It feels like whenever I'm in the race, in MT specifically, all the forces of the universe just conspire against me. Like, in the middle of the race, I got bothered for, like, freaking deal with my health insurance or whatever. Like,
oh no.
Oh no.
Doesn't do that while I was playing the game.
The forces of nature conspired a little bit against your opponent too. There was apparently 2 levels where they would spawn in a wall instead of where they were supposed to. And so I had to retry the stage a couple of times.
That's so weird.
Yeah, so
like,
there was some rough stuff all around, I guess.
I just don't like easy games.
So in terms of the part where you actually play the game, have you played like a On the Ball or Camel Tree or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay, so this was like an introduction to a tilty ball game.
Like, I've seen games like this be played on MT before, but like, I never expected that I'd actually get one.
Yeah, there's a surprising amount.
Yeah.
I think if you go out and ask any gamer, what are some game genres, right? They would hit you with first-person shooter, platformer, RPG. I don't think anyone off the street would ever hit you with a rotating ball game. Like Camel Tree.
I'm considering I'm like generally pretty bad at ball games. I think I did pretty good. So
yeah, I think so. It's really hard to say how much time the fanfare skip or whatever it was. What kind of difference that makes, but. It would have been even closer than it already was, that's for sure.
It was fun. I don't know, I went 0-2 last MT. Like, I just don't want to do that again.
Yeah, you've been joining a lot of races and doing really well, though, so I think you got a pretty good shot.
Hopefully, I win at least one race. That's all I want.
Well, we're rooting for you, except for whoever you're matched up against. I don't know who it is. But
I
they
do
probably will not.
I do know them actually, so it'll be interesting.
All right.
Anyway, thanks for chatting.
Yeah, thanks for being patient, and then for coming to talk to us. And
Yep.
best of luck on your next match.
Thank you. See ya.